What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the latest and wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the ratings result for Dynamite vs NXT. And believe us, it's crazy. Is NXT invading the Royal Rumble? The FBI is protecting Lana because of death threats? And what Eric Bischoff thinks of the NWO's Hall of Fame induction. If you want to keep up with the latest wrestling news, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let's go into our first story, as the FBI is investigating death threats against Lana. Not too long ago, Wrestlelamia discussed how Lana was receiving death threats after the start of her kayfabe split from Rusev and storyline romance with Bobby Lashley. During a recent interview with comicbook.com, Lana went into detail about how bad things have got. I personally have received a lot of death threats. I've gotten calls from like WWE and the FBI, people actually threatening WWE. Having death threats on me, and the FBI has had to call me and protect me, and I get death threats on my comments on Instagram, on Twitter. I mean, people are bullies. Today I opened my email account and I had this death threat on my email, but it was just like the names that people call are it's just appalling. It's absolutely appalling. Lana rallied against online bullying, saying, "You know, cyberbullying is a big cause of suicide, and I just want to speak out on it as that is really wrong. It's completely wrong. People really need to think before they comment, because all they're doing is they're hiding behind a screen and they're being mean. And do people want to be responsible for people killing themselves? I'm going to continue to strongly speak out about it, because I think there's a lot of people that are victims of cyberbullying, and it really affects their entire life, and it's wrong, and it needs to stop." Wow, there must be some seriously stupid wrestling fans out there who think that this is real. Come on, it's all for entertainment. Cool, if you don't like this storyline, you don't have to watch. But people, don't go this far, it's sad. Next up, the Wednesday Night War Week 11 ends up a tie. It appears Week 11 of the Wednesday Night War is the first ever tie. Dave Shearer of PW Insider is reporting, for the first time ever, we have a tie. AEW Dynamite on TNT did 778,000 overnight viewers, down from last week's 851,000 overnight viewers. NXT was also down this week, 778,000 doing overnight viewers. Last week they did 845,000 overnight viewers. That's pretty crazy that you have the same amount of people watching two different shows. But like Wrestlemania's good buddy Joe, he was watching the show simultaneously. Were you guys as well? Next up, NXT Invasion continuing at the Royal Rumble. It looks like the WWE Universe could be seeing the stars of the Black and Gold brand added to the 2020 Royal Rumble. Brian Alvarez recently commented during an episode of Wrestling Observer Live that the idea for the Royal Rumble, and God only knows if things could change, and they could change a lot more depending on if AEW is winning or losing at that point, but the plan was Royal Rumble men's and women's will be 30 spots. 10 spots going to Raw, 10 spots going to SmackDown, 10 spots to NXT. That was the plan. Typically, NXT stars have been used to round out the Royal Rumble, but fans could see them perform strongly if their Survivor Series push is repeated. And the last story of today, what ATM Eric thinks of the NWO's Hall of Fame induction. Eric Bischoff was a central figure in the creation of the New World Order, so many fans are eager to hear what Eazy-E had to say about the recent announcement that Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash and Sean Waltman are being inducted in 2020. Bischoff recently talked his thoughts on the induction, saying, "About f***ing time. When the NWO evolved and came to be, that fuse that was already lit hit nitroglycerine, and it exploded the business in a way that, other than what Vince McMahon and WWE did by launching WrestleMania and bringing a lot of mainstream attention to the industry when they did, but other than that period of time, there is nothing that has been more significant to the wrestling industry than the NWO storyline." I'm not saying that because that was something I created and was a part of, I'm saying it because it's true. Some fans are always wondering why Bischoff isn't being inducted into the group, given his efforts behind the scenes creating the group, as well as his later on-camera appearances as the NWO's mastermind. Sean Waltman commented that Bischoff deserves to go in, but what does Bischoff himself think? That's nice of him to say, but he's not calling the shots, so it really doesn't matter. I wish he was. That would be great. I'd like to hang out with my buddies at WrestleMania. It would have been wonderful. But I don't worry about that. I love these guys, especially Hulk Hogan. These are guys that I have deep affection for and respect for. So I couldn't be happier, and I'm just gonna let it go at that. While it's unclear who will induct the Fearsome Four, Bischoff did say, "Not that I know of, but I'm a pretty spontaneous guy. So if I get the call at the last minute, I'll swing by wherever they're going to be in Tampa. I'm sure I can spit out a good induction." Do you think Eric Bischoff belongs in the Hall of Fame as a member of the NWO? Or would you just like to see him induct them? Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.